Well, I am showing 10 a.m. on the nose, so we are going to begin. Based off of the test so far, I'm getting texts and chats that we're good to go as far as sound. I am going to do something a little different today, and I was testing it this morning, and it worked out just fine. We're going to incorporate a couple of YouTube videos, so we're going to get moving. Connect to Collect, this is all really part of the sphere of influence. This would be considered part of your sphere as far as networking goes. And what we're going to talk about today is best sites for connecting. There are different varieties of connections. You've got direct consumer. You have people in our business, other realtors out of the area, business to business, and we're going to go ahead. First thing I want to do, and I do have some people testing, so I'm going to click in here. I was able to enhance this just a little bit so that hopefully you can see it, and I have to get used to dragging the arrows in here. I'm hoping that it stays with me today. Okay. There we go. Okay. So we have an opportunity here if you want to raise your hand. I do not have, we are all on silent. I'm not, but everyone else is on silent mode. So we do have an opportunity down at the bottom here for chats. That panel is open during the entire session. I will be answering questions towards the end. I'd like to get through the program first, but if you want to, just go ahead and start typing them in as they're coming to mind, or if you are a facilitator in one of the offices and questions are coming at you, by all means, don't write them down on a pad. Pop them in, and I will answer them in order as they came in towards the end of the session. But if anything goes wrong, by all means, raise your hands here. If you do not want that panel, if you want more of a full screen, that seems to be an issue when I go live drive. Some people are saying that the screen is getting smaller. I didn't see that on the recording, but if it helps, you can actually click on Hide Panel. You will not see any of the chat information, which is not that big of a deal for you, but it will give you a little bit more as far as space. And we had this question last session as well, full screen for anyone who has this popping up in a smaller window. You can click here and make it full screen. I'm going to be playing around a little bit with full screen today. So where we are today is we're talking about networking, and this came from entrepreneur.com with the definition of networking. And I know Diana went a little bit into it, but I thought I'd just share this. It is short and sweet, and basically it's using contacts made in business, not necessarily only business to business, but while you're conducting business for purposes beyond the reason for initial contact. And bottom line is it's nurturing a relationship to use for future referrals, for future business. The person you are networking with may never, ever buy or sell real estate at all, let alone with you, but at all. But they may be able to be used for a referral or a referral person to, I'm just looking at what is going on with somebody signing in. Can everybody still hear me? As I just had an odd audio come up with a phone number I've never seen and muted, but we'll see what happens with that. And if you can, all right, thanks, Kim. So going further with this, we're going to go a little bit into, and I found this, this gentleman is Ed Rayner. I'm giving everybody kudos where kudos are due. He did a little blurb, and I did find this on LinkedIn, which is one of the sites that we'll be getting into a little bit into the session. But he has the difference between selling and networking, or networking and selling is how I have it. I do have selling first. It's basic. It should be common sense. With your purpose is very specific when you're selling. We are looking to sell. I consider myself more of a marketer than a seller, but I guess it's your choice. We're looking to move a particular piece of real estate, and it's just that one thing, and we're kind of blind, and we've got one goal in mind. I don't like this one so much. They did try to soften it up a little bit, but its intent is ultimately self-serving, which is true. We are really, when we're selling and we're hard selling, we're not looking to do anything for anyone except maybe get them property that they're looking for. But we're looking for a sale. and the goal is short term. So a lot of this stuff is, like I said, common sense. But where we get more into is we're going into networking. You're not going to get, and you shouldn't expect, immediate results. It's not an immediate gratifying situation. It's cultivating. You are nurturing a relationship to use for future. You should be offering them a benefit as well, so it's mutually beneficial for both of you. They're hoping to get some referral info from you. No audio in Byram. I don't know anyone else. I'm getting a yes to hearing for everyone else. There is a phone number, a dial-in number, if you want to go ahead and use the phone instead of the, I don't exactly know what TV you're on, but there should be a dial-in phone number that came with your invitation. Because right now I've got everyone else hearing me, so I don't want to mess too much. Although I did get a very unusual dial-in from an 857 number that then went ahead and muted themselves. So I'm not exactly sure who that is and where that came from. I'm getting an audio is fine for everyone else, so I apologize. Hopefully you guys can catch up before we get into some of the other stuff that's going on here. So anyway, moving on, one of the things that we spoke about in our last session, let me just double click that again. Hello? There we go. With social media, and the last time we spoke about social media, it was really keeping your current friends or current sphere top of mind as to what you do in your everyday life, and it was keeping it fun. But there are ways to use social media as far as a networking tool, and this I go more into business to business. And what we're looking at today really is, I find networking is best done face-to-face, and that's the truth. For as much as everyone thinks I'm the big tech person, networking is really best done face-to-face. But there are cases where you're not able to meet some of the people that we're going to talk about today face-to-face. Just geographically, they are not near you, but they can benefit you and you can benefit them. So we're going to go into a little bit on using some of the social networking, social network sites and to get some networking done, as well as some of the real estate platforms, Zillow and Trulia, and how to do some networking there, mostly with consumers, but there is some opportunity for what I call agent to agent. One of the biggest benefits in our business is referrals. Not every business offers a referral type service where you have a realtor friend in another state or outside of your area where you're able to actually connect with them and bounce referrals back and forth and actually make some money at the same time. So that would be considered networking, mutually beneficial, a realtor to realtor outside of the area. We're going to talk a little bit about how you can do that. And hopefully very well. I do have some connections that I work with in South Carolina and Florida, people that I've met, people that I speak with and interact with on. All right, now Bonnie's saying she had audio and just lost it, and I'm not touching anything. So I'm not exactly sure what's going on with the audio. Can everyone, Kyle, can you still hear me fine? I haven't touched the thing, haven't pressed a button, haven't done a thing. All right, Dave Douglas just texted me that he got audio, so Byram's back up and Kyle is up. So I apologize. Okay, awesome. So again, going back into some of the connections and referral sources, and we still hear you, thank you, Jesse, referral sources that you can move forward with. So the first one that I'd like to start with, and I'm not going to go live drive on this one because it's really not necessary, is Facebook and Facebook business pages. If you don't have one, get one. I will be doing a live social media training. I will be sitting down today and working on some live training, in-person stuff, and doing double duty both in Sussex and Fairfield. But what I want to talk about with this one, and we've talked about the best practice in as far as Facebook and Facebook pages with making it hyper-local, offering helpful local links, just not inundating, and we spoke about this last time, not inundating people with listing after listing after listing, but giving them something or some reason to come back. And a lot of it is the fun stuff. And again, it is social. People come on to be social. They don't want to be sold anything. But where you can utilize this, and I have seen people doing very well with it. It's not something that I've done myself because I'm not really actively out there selling real estate at this time. But visit local businesses. How many of you have gone into the local bagel store or the pizzeria and they've got business cards, local business cards, and you see other realtors on the counter? And that's great. You can go in, you can pop stuff up, and somebody else can swipe it while you're not paying attention. You know, that's just the way it goes. But is that business actually promoting you, and do they know who you are? So if you walk into some of the local businesses and introduce yourself, and yes, this is face-to-face for Facebook, introduce yourself, offer to highlight their business on your Facebook page. If they have specials, some of the local pizzerias on Wednesday, $5.99. I know that I've gone into some of the local businesses here if they're having sales. Offer to highlight, that's where you're benefiting them. Offer to highlight their business on the internet. Go into your and like other local businesses as your Facebook page, not so much you, but as your page, and post and tag wherever possible those businesses. Let them see that you are actively promoting their products and services, and they will do the same for you. So if somebody goes into that local pizzeria or that local pub or pet store, whatever it is that you're affiliated with, and they pull up your card and somebody has a question, or, hey, do you know this person? The business owner can actually promote you and say, yes, I do. They promote our business. Give them a shot, rather than I have no idea who that is. They left their card one day when they brought it, when they bought a bagel. So that is a way to make your Facebook page the go-to source for local information without masking yourself as a local business. And again, I go into that a little bit more, or not a local business, but a local town-run government office. You want to make sure that you're following the rules of social media and following both the Real Estate Commission and NAR rules and regulations as you're doing this. So you'll see mine is very specific, and I do have my business information. And this is actually my Facebook page, and I took a screenshot of it, and you'll see here that all of this information is exactly as it should be: office phone number, office address, and those short blurb about me says who I am. It does have my official Real Estate Commission title on there as broker salesperson. So again, great way to get yourself out there in front of businesses and use online social media at the same time, and hopefully get some kudos from that business owner, and while you're doing that, promoting your Facebook business page and giving people a place to go to get that information. So when you do post your listing or an open house, you'll get more engagement. So moving on from there, we are going to go to, and this one of these we're going to go live drive, and I'm going to get my LinkedIn up here, is LinkedIn. LinkedIn is great for groups. This is really good if you're in the commercial markets. It's not a fluffy nutter place to go. You're going to see more listings in here. You're going to see a lot more commercial. You're going to see a lot more business-to-business engagement and agent-to-agent engagement with things that are working. I do a lot as far as engaging in groups, mostly the NAR and local realtor groups. If you're into REOs or short sales, there's a lot of groups within that. And again, like I said, commercial. I'm going to go in and just show you how to connect with people and how to do some searching to connect. I think most everybody is familiar with Facebook, and Facebook is more of a get some likes and get some friends, where you do have to go in and do some research in LinkedIn. So we are going to now share my screen, or actually my entire desktop. And hopefully I understand, like I said, I understand that some people went and they did go black on purpose. We're going to move some of this out of the way. And the first place I want to go is my LinkedIn. So this is my live LinkedIn account. This is my live LinkedIn account. I'm getting questions popping up. I'll answer them towards the end. We'll talk about that. But we're looking at my live LinkedIn profile. And what I want to speak to is how to find people in here that we want to connect with. So we're going to go in, and there is an advance, and hopefully everybody can see this. Next to this is where you would search for specific people, companies, groups. So again, if a group is something that you want to get involved with, I don't see a lot of, again, fluff and other stuff in here, but there is a lot for commercial and very niche market real estate, property managers, things like that. You'll find that in here, REOs, short sales, and the like. But we're going to go into is you're clicking on the advanced, the blue button advanced here, which will get you these two boxes. I'm going to close the very top one, and I'm going to get into the advanced search. These are recommendations. Actually, these are people, most of them that I'm already attached to. But where we want to go is here. So we're going to search for people. So let's just say in our market, we are in New Jersey, and in my area of New Jersey, we find that a lot of people that are moving out or retiring to the Carolinas. So I am going to go in here, and the relationship doesn't need to really be first, second, or third, because first wouldn't make much sense. That means you're already attached to them. So I'm going to take the check boxes off of the defaults from here, and they've got group members, and I am going to add a location. That location is not in here. There are some default locations, but I am actually going to be very specific and type in Myrtle Beach. And if I could spell today, that would be wonderful. Yeah, there we go, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina area. I'm going to take their default and choose it. You have an opportunity to go through companies, but I am going to stick with just industry and real estate. And because I would like to do business with a realtor, I am going to choose my groups, and there is one for the National Association of Realtors. And you can go ahead and click in there. If you're not already a member, you can go ahead and join those groups as well, and we'll get into that in a little bit. So I would do your homework. Don't just connect with everyone on here. Go through, find someone that you think that you could do business with, that you'll get along with, that you have something in common with, and you're going to go ahead and you can click on. So if I wanted to connect, I would click on connect. I'm not going to actually go through with the whole, hopefully, well, I did. My invite was sent. So I am now connecting with Natalie at Dockside Realty. So we went with a mom and pop. And but what I'd like to do is just show you how you can go in. And here we go. We're going to click on her name. You can read a little bit about them. Okay, we go. She used to be with Coldwell Banker, and you can go through. You can look at their skills, any specialty that they have here, referrals, marketing. So she likes referrals. That's a good one, and education, awards, so on and so forth down the line. You can go through, and again, just make sure she was a little girl. Make sure that it's somebody that, again, that you would connect with on a personal level. So we're going to go back into advanced. And the other thing we can do, this is a short, quick search. We're just going to click on groups. And just to show you here, if I just type in the word commercial, you've got tons and tons and tons. If you're someone that specializes in commercial, that you can go through down here. I'm going to click back, hopefully, and escape out of that. The other thing I wanted to go down through here is we've got years of experience, interested in company size, but there was another one here, profile language. So if you are looking for someone, or if you're in need of someone that speaks another language other than English, you can go ahead and click here, or multiples. So if they are bilingual, you would get that in here as well. So that would make life a little bit easier if you have someone specific that you wanted to work with. So we are going to go back to my slideshow and on to the next one. And for anyone that has not been in Active Rain, I think this was probably one of the first agent-to-agent based internet profiles. I think it was actually introduced, I believe, in 2008. On the East Coast or Northeast, it did die out. It died out just a little bit. However, I did get a call, and I did get a referral from a woman on Active Rain, and it was funny because the first thing she said was that, I noticed that you weren't a rainmaker. There are areas, south and southwest, that are very, very active on Active Rain. And I do have to say, I will go over this in social media as well because I believe it's a profile everyone should have just to build up your real estate reputation. And since it's been taken over by Trulia is now the owner of Active Rain, and then of course the trickle down there with everyone that has purchased everybody else from there on. So to get yourself up ranking-wise, this is a great tool. But it also has groups that you can join. There are people on quote-unquote rainmakers, pardon me, on the site that you can follow. And it does have a referral network. Again, it's not huge in our area, but I have had one or two, and I am going to go in live and show you where to find that, as well as where to sign up for email alerts when referrals are available in your area for you to get into. So one more time, and I know I hop back and forth on a regular basis, and I'm sorry. We are going to go back to my desktop, and we are going to go into Active Rain. I'm going to minimize that so it stops coming up. Now, this is my live Active Rain profile. Again, if you don't have one, you should get one, and I will go into that more on live training. But where we're going to hop from here is my home. And as I scoot down to my home, you will see down at the bottom here, we have groups. So this is where you would go. There's Garden State Real Estate. There are some, for me, Real Estate Technology. Realty Executives has a group, as well as Sussex County, New Jersey. This would just be in here, but where I'd like to do is go into groups. And if you were looking for something specific, this would be a place to search. And it'll tell you here where they have companies. You would then be able to search even further. So if we went into company real estate and then list groups, you would be able to get a list of groups on different companies in here. And the same thing would go for topics. If we went back in here, if you wanted to create or start a group, you would be able to do that right in here. But general information we have here, technology, agents and brokers, industry related. We have them by region. And then you would just go ahead in and you would join the group and hopefully participate. The other place I want to go back to, and the more important, is the referral network. Active Rain has, if I can get to it, their own referral network. And that would be under your home, more to explore, and you'll see here, referral network. What you have here is you can browse available network, and you'll see exactly what I was referring to when I said that we got Warwick, New York. Kudos, anyone in our Milford office that has their New York license, go for it. But there is a buyer referral for 400 to 500. They're all dialing right now. I'm laughing. 400 to 500 in Warwick, New York. So there you go. Reading, Pennsylvania. They occasionally will come up in New Jersey. Again, I have had one. I actually did receive one in Wantage. So you don't know unless you go in and try. And we've got different referrals that will tell you here what the referral qualification or qualifier is. And obviously, the more stars, the better, because it does get warmer. So you have 2 stars, Warwick. Go ahead and get it. And we can go in here, post referral. The other thing that we can go ahead and do in the browse and the about is you can click, and you'll see right here, and hopefully you guys can see my cursor. I know it's tiny, but referral alerts underneath my referral. We've got posted. That would be something that you posted. So you can, if you have a referral outside of the area, by all means, go ahead and use it. Requested referrals and referral alerts. So you will see in here I have some. This is from the last time that we did this, or the last time I did my session. You would create a new alert, fill in the information as you want it. You want to get raw leads, that's up to you. Not a big fan of that, but qualified, personal. You can go on up the star rankings. And obviously property types. I'm not a commercial gal, so I would probably take that checkbox off. And you name your alert just like anything else and click on Save Alerts, and then it will show up in your, I'm not going to keep doing it because obviously I forgot to take these off. And it will pop in here, and you can check them and see what's going on. And again, browsing available if you wanted to go in and just see if there's something that maybe didn't fit or they didn't think fit your criteria. You can go ahead in and browse them, and you can click on the next page and go through. Anything with a line through it means that they have already made a connection. and anything else that's still here should still be live. And it would be simply, and obviously I'm not licensed in New York, so I'm not going to go ahead and do that. You would click in here. It gives you a little bit more detail. And I'm giving everybody detail now. And I would click in the message, and that would message the broker or agent who put this referral in. Give them a little bit about yourself, contact information, and hopefully you will get a call and make that happen. So that's again, we're going to hop back in here to our slides, and I am going to try to keep this as quick as possible. We're going back to the next one, which is Zillow. Now this is, and yes, there are areas in here where you can connect to agents, and I'll go in live for that. But mostly this is a nurturing area for consumers as well as a way to improve your Zillow profile ranking. So you can become a resource for consumers in here. You can connect with other realtors for referrals and improve your Zillow profile ranking pretty much all at the same time. Now this is something that I am going to do for the first time, but I am going to go back in and share and hopefully get you a quick video. I am not going to have access to the chat while I'm doing this, nor am I going to have access to my my texting. So I hope it did work well on test that it works now. So we're going to just look at this real quick video. Stay with me 1 second while I get myself ready.
Hi, I'm Sarah from Zillow. I want to talk to you today about one of the newest ways that you can market yourself on Zillow, called Zillow Advice. It's a question and answer forum where each month agents, lenders, and other real estate professionals are coming to engage the people that are using Zillow each month in the form of social media or asking and answering questions. There's over 40,000 contributions made to Zillow each day, so there's definitely a hunger for people to get more information about real estate, and it's a great platform for agents and consumers to connect. So how do you get started using this new tool? Well, the first thing you need to do is register for a profile on the site, and you can do this by going to the upper right-hand corner of Zillow and clicking the register button, and it'll walk you through the steps that you need to do to create the profile. Make sure you get your photo, information about yourself, information about your industry and your background, because any kind of answer or question that you leave in Zillow will be linked back to this profile so you can begin to build an online reputation. So once you have your profile built, click on the Zillow Advice tab in the top bar. From there, you have the opportunity to search questions based on keyword search or geographic search. So you can come in and say, I'm a foreclosure expert, and you can search for foreclosures and see the number of questions that have been asked about how to do a foreclosure. Or you can say, I specialize in Chicago, Illinois. So you can type in Chicago and see all types of questions that consumers are asking. You could do city, state, neighborhood, zip code, and you can pick multiples within those as well. Now, I know we're all really busy, and it's hard to say, well, I can't keep going back to Zillow every day and checking to see if there's any new questions in my area or in my topic of interest, which is why we've created the functionality for you to be able to sign up for email alerts or use RSS functions. Anytime somebody has asked a question, you'll be automatically alerted that there might be opportunities for you to go contribute to the conversation. So to do this, all you need to do is go to the Zillow Advice tab, search on whatever the topic is. So say you want to type in Chicago real estate, and simply click the button that says subscribe to this search via email. Once you do that, you'll automatically be alerted anytime there's a question that has to do with the subject that you asked to be alerted to. It's such a great way to kind of soft sell your services and what you're able to offer by way of the knowledge that you bring by being a real estate professional. There's a couple of tips when you're engaging people with this type of social media. The first is the hard sell is dead. When somebody says, what should I look for in a good realtor, they don't want a sales pitch about what you can offer them personally, but rather it would be helpful for them to have a couple of tips on some questions they should ask when interviewing different realtors. Offering this kind of information really soft sells your services and positions you as the expert. Also, you can definitely link to maybe a blog post you might have done or another resource on your site people might find valuable So give them some information and then give them somewhere to go to find more information. And again, showcase why they should choose you to, once they're ready, to actually go out and start looking at houses or put their home on the market. So definitely check out Zillow Advice. It's a great way to get in front of people who are using the site each day, all in various phases of the home buying, selling, and owning process, all hungry for the types of information that real estate professionals can offer them. It's a great way to connect with them online. Check it out, Zillow Advice. And for more tools on how you can use Zillow as a marketing platform, visit ZillowPros.com. It's ZillowPros.com. And Sarah from Zillow, thank you.
Okay. Hopefully everybody heard that and can hear me again. So I am hoping that went over real well. I'm going to go back, yes, one more time, actually more than one more time, and really quickly share my live Zillow. So we're going to go back in here. And where she said where we went into, we're going to click on Advice. A couple of things I just wanted to show you in here that doesn't come up. So we can go in and do that search functionality, just like as she had mentioned earlier. I'm going to go ahead and, let's see, I'm going to do an Andover, New Jersey. See if we come up with anything. They may or may not have anything in here. Okay, so here is, if I wanted to, and again, up here we've got our categories. So all results, not something, Zillow questions, and that is, when they say Zillow questions, that means questions regarding Zillow itself, whether it's what is my Zestimate, what does that mean? But what you'll notice is when I clicked on Zillow questions, there are subcategories. So you can get a little bit more specific or more narrowed down. Home buying, the same thing here. If I click on home buying, they've got buying process. These are questions on buying foreclosures and rents and moving and investing. So you can get a little bit more narrowed down to something specific for sale by owner, housing market. If you wanted to answer, maybe share 10Ks in here. That's not such a terrible thing. And pricing. What you'll notice here is there's also a little bit of a drop-down menu, and I'm going to click on it because here is, and I'm getting a little bit of shaking in here, where it opens up, and there is the Pro to Pro. So again, for referral purposes, and this is in Andover, I would have to click on all results for Pro to Pro. This is where you can maybe engage a little bit with other agents if they have questions, if they have a buyer in the Florida area and the buyer goes to them. How often has that happened? You think, well, that's kind of weird. They're on vacation or they're visiting family and they're looking in other states before they're even inquiring about what their home might be worth or putting their home on the market, and you're getting a referral from somebody in Florida for a listing in your area, which I think is backwards but happens all the time. So you would be able to maybe engage if they were looking, if the other agent had posted, and engage another agent and get some information there. Just really quickly, what was not gone into is if you want to see where you have signed up, and I'm assuming it either is asking for double information because it wants to, but I was logged in before we started. Didn't think there was a timeout button on here, but I'm going to go ahead back in and hope I spelled my name right this time. And what I wanted to just go into Zillow and show is if you wanted to see, I don't want to edit my profile. If you wanted to see where, and I'm not exactly sure what is going on with this one, where your information or what alerts you have already signed up for, what you can do is go to the notification area in your Zillow Agent Hub. I'm going to sign back out of here because I have no idea what is going on with Zillow at the moment. Let's try that again. Sign in. But there is a notification area. I'm not going to hang up too much on it because I don't want to go too far over the 30 to 45 minutes that we had allotted for today. But there is a notification area within your Zillow profile, and I know I'm signing in correctly because I was just, there we go, Agent Hub. Thank you. So I am going to check it out in here. Just go into it. I actually believe it's under Account and Notifications. Let's try that again. There we go. If you click on your account and scoot to notifications, which is going to drive me crazy because it was just here. Oh, here we go. Subscriptions. I knew it was under account someplace. If you click down, you'll see here advice alerts, and these was something that I had typed in while I was doing a test. This will show you what you already have. So while you're in that advice information here, I'm going to click on that one more time. You can click on the email alerts and then find out if you need to double check that whether you already have one in there. That's where you would go for that. So we are going to go back in, and last but not least, we are going to be looking at Trulia. Trulia Voices has been around a really long time, and I have been a big advocate of Trulia Voices. There have been quite a few changes within the program itself and within Trulia itself, but it works fairly similar to Zillow, and you'll see here that I actually copied this, where you can go in and you can get your VIP ranking higher, and we're going to go live again one more time into a quick, and this is only 2 minutes, so this is not going to be too much of a time killer, but I do have to just set it up one more time really quickly here.
We'll give you a quick snapshot on how to use Trulia Voices. To get started on Trulia Voices, make sure you're logged into your account. From the top of the page, roll over the Advice tab. Then make your selection from the drop-down list. I'm going to start with the link that says Advice Home. From here, I can enter my location, including city and state, zip code, and neighborhood. Below, you'll see all the recent activity for blogs and questions and answers. Refine your criteria by adjusting the filters to suit your needs. So if I wanted to, I can adjust the filter to show just Q&A, then further refine my filters to show the newest questions and blogs. And if I only want to focus on home buying questions, then I'll just make this selection right here. On the left-hand side of the page, you'll see the most recent questions and blog posts. On the right-hand side, you'll see the last person who answered that question. You can roll over a member's profile to see more about them and to go directly to their profile or contact them directly from this page. Let's take a look at this question by clicking on it. You can see that a consumer from New York asked the question, and they have 5 total contributions on Trulia. Below is a list of public replies from the community. Typically what happens is that the agents with the best answers will get contacted by the person who asked the question. This brings us to a very important point, that the quality of the response matters most, not how many questions you answer. Take a look at some of these agents who benefited by being proactive on Trulia. So if you haven't participated on Trulia Voices yet, please start today. To get started, go to www.trulia.com/voices.
Okay. Now, you know what? While on Live Drive, we can go ahead and go into my Trulia account. And as you see here, the browse Trulia Voices will come up here. The one thing, and again, it operates very similar to the Zillow, and produces pretty much the same results, where you're getting yourself a soft sell to the consumers. You're becoming a consumer resource. You have the opportunity, the same in here, there are agent-to-agent blogs as well, where you can connect with other agents for referrals. And it builds up the Trulia. In fact, Trulia now, one of the changes that it made is the more activity you have in Trulia with answering questions and or posting questions, blogging within their site. I know that's a horrible word for a lot of people, but any activity that you have, even listings, the more listings that you have on here. So if you're not claiming your listings on Trulia, you really should go online and check that profile and get claiming. That all counts towards your rankings on Trulia and how often you are displayed when consumers are out there and they're out there looking. Mindful on Trulia, anytime that you're answering questions, and that goes for LinkedIn and some of these Facebook groups as well. One of the things that you really need to be mindful of is rules and regulations. Again, both real estate, New Jersey Real Estate Commission, Pennsylvania, and New York alike. All of that, all of those rules as far as advertising and things that you can and can't say, as well as NAR, all still apply. So really be mindful when you're typing in an answer. Are you fitting into those rules and regulations? I am seeing some haphazard things out there being typed in. If somebody's online and they're asking a question about what an area is like, stay away from the question. You're better off not answering it rather than answering it and getting yourself in trouble. So there have been questions posted that I've opted just to ignore. They're not coming to me directly. They're out there for everyone, and if somebody wants to go ahead and give it a shot, that's on them. But I personally would stay away from it. So I am going to just go into our last slide and wrap it up. And do's and don'ts when networking online. Treat your profile, and yes, that includes your Facebook personal profile, as a professional brochure. If you don't want people to see it, don't put it out there for the public to see it. So again, don't post anything that you would not want a contact or a potential client or referral source to see. And I will, when we do some live social media, I do show you how to turn some of that on and off. Personalize your friend or connect request and show your value. So when you're on that LinkedIn profile and you're looking or searching for people that you think you might want to connect with, don't just, and unfortunately I did, but don't just hit that connect button. Go in and personalize it. Hey, I saw your profile. Maybe pick something out in that profile that you have in common and add that to the connect request or the friend request and say, maybe we will be able to help each other out in business. Numbers don't matter. I know everyone thinks the amount of likes. It really is now on almost all social media platforms all about the engagement, all about the contributions. So don't just connect haphazardly just to have those people in there because it's not going to do your profile or you any good. It's just another thing to clean up eventually. Choose groups carefully. When you are engaging, like I said, I go into the National Association. When you're connecting to a group, make sure it's something that you actually have an interest or a commonality in. You don't want to go in and jump in and start talking about a group of something like, I have no idea about breeding dogs. I'm just going to take that one because Lisa announced that they were expecting puppies again. I have no knowledge of that. So it's not a group that I would want to get involved with because I have nothing to offer them, and I would probably be bored to tears in reading some of the stuff that they have to post. So comment and post. Don't comment and post without educating yourself on a topic. If you have something to say and you're using resources or just make sure that you know what you're speaking about. Do's, post helpful information, links and videos, no spamming. Try to stay away from, and everybody has their own thing. I personally try to stay away from religious or political debates. I keep myself out of it. And show an interest in other people's posts. I have, and I do all the time, I will like because it does boost their rankings. And again, that is me offering them a value. So I go in and I'm active in liking other people's posts or helping out if they're asking for help. And I don't just constantly post my links, my websites, here, talk to me. It's not all about you. Sometimes it's not all about you. I know it's hard to take for some people, but sometimes it isn't. So that is me wrapping up. The only question, and I'm going to go into questions right now, I'm not seeing any questions on the side. I'm going to, God help me, touch my phone. The one question or comment that came in was from Dave, and it was about linking back to the company website. I do get into that when I talk about websites and social media. You are not required to link back as long as you have the proper information. So what I do is when I'm teaching people how to do Facebook pages, because that really is the only social media that other than, and Zillow really not so much social media, that really is the only social media where you are actively introducing real estate or listings, and that has to be done properly. We do get into the do's and don'ts on that. So no, it's not mandatory on Facebook to have a link back to the company as long as the Facebook is set up properly the first time. Other than that, do we have any other questions on anything that we went over today? You can either type it in your into the little box here, the chat box. Hopefully it'll take. and hit send. I'm the only one that will see it, and I don't have to mention your name if you don't want. You can send me a text. Again, I am on my cell phone speaking to you, so I am trying to touch the phone as little as possible, very sensitive, touchy-feely. If I don't see any questions, or if you would rather send it to me in an email, that's fine as well. I'll be more than happy to answer questions via email. I'm going to get everybody on their way, and I know in Sussex, out to those broker opens, we've got Teresa and Eric, I know both in Sussex County. I haven't seen any others, so if they are, I apologize in advance. But have a great Thursday, and beware of the wind. Have a great day, guys. Take care.